Hey everybody, this is Peter with Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to be taking a look at an expansion for the role-playing game The Expanse by Green Ronin. We recently did a look at their quick start guide for the Expanse role-playing game, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at Trades of the Expanse Journalist. This is a series of 5 short PDFs that Green Ronin has put out to focus on some of the different jobs that your characters can take on while they are playing the game The Expanse. This specific version that we're going to be taking a look at today is about the journalist, but if we jump real quick over to their website, greenroninstore.com, we can see that they have actually put out 5 of these books, one of them being Bounty Hunter, the next one being Planetary Surveyor, Scout, Journalist, and Entertainer. Each one of these books, again, are going to be focusing on a different job or trade that your character can take on in the game, The Expanse. We'll take a quick look at some of the items that are in here and how they're going to help the player focus a bit more on their character, flesh them out a little bit more, add some mechanics for them to utilize in-game, so hopefully they can build on their role-playing, make them a little bit more comfortable in the skin of their character. So specifically, like I said, we're focusing on the Journalist PDF today, and the book opens up with a quick one-page summary of being a journalist in the Expanse universe. So us as people in the 21st century might know what it is like to be a journalist today, seeing journalism take place on the news, but maybe we don't have any real idea of what it would be like later, further in the future, as the human diaspora has gone throughout the galaxy, and you are having to work as a journalist, bringing the news not just to a single planet worth of people, but a galaxy full of people. So they give you some basic information here about being a journalist in the Expanse universe and what that may entail. And then you get a nice page of trade lingo, so the jargon for being a journalist. They specifically talk about here that the media of journalists, the journalist profession, some of their words are still old school, which if you take a look at this, most of these are going to fall in that category. We have off the record, which again, if anybody knows anything about journalism, off the record is, interviewing somebody but not recording their information, not using it in your story. It's just having a conversation at that point in time. Attribution is giving credit for the person you are quoting when you're quoting them in a story. And then embedded, a journalist who is going to live and travel with a specific group of people, focusing on recording their activities. So a journalist is embedded with a group and following them around, doing a story on them. So we get a little page here with some trade lingo, again, kind of helping you get more comfortable in the skin of your journalist character so that you might start to utilize their lingo in your role playing as you were discussing what it is they want to do with your GM. And then they get into a couple of pages about careers in journalism. So again, this is to get you thinking, what type of journalist is my character? Are they like a news anchor, somebody who would sit behind a desk and relay the day's news to the masses? Are they an investigative reporter, somebody who is going to be looking for stories, not just delivering the stories, somebody who is out there investigating to see what is going on, is there corruption at hand, and digging into it, maybe sometimes kind of undercover. Then you have a feature journalist, and it's somebody who is covering some of the more soft stories, maybe doing some interviews with people, but going in depth on those. You have the columnist, somebody who's going to be a print journalist, somebody who is going to be writing stories rather than delivering them maybe on the media, on the TV or whatever it is in the Expanse that they're going to be utilizing. And then we have tabloid journalism, so somebody who is going to be going out there for all the spicy content, the racy content, the sometimes not true content, and then publishing those in tabloids. So you have these quick breakdowns of different types of journalism so that you can be thinking about what kind of journalist am I going to be playing in this game. And then they get into potential employers, people who are going to pay your journalist to do their work. Are they going to be working for a government? Are they going to be working for a conglomerate, somebody who's, you know, super wealthy, big group of people? Or are they going to work for a corporation? So a corporate client list is provided here for your game master and for yourself to look at a couple of different media news networks that you could possibly work for. I like this a lot. This gets a little bit more specific. Everything else so far has been a little bit more broad, but all of a sudden you're getting something that's very useful. You're given a name of a company, a little bit of information about them, so that you can start to flesh out who is this group that I'm working for. Nice little list of them. And then you have freelance. So a freelance journalist, somebody who is just working from job to job. They're willing to work for whoever they need to at the time to make a little bit of money. And then we have the citizen journalist, somebody who's just out there to probably just to make a difference. They're not in it really probably for the money most of the time. And they're out there just trying to uncover the story and make a difference. So they also then get into a little bit about finding work and what it looks like for your game master to come up with an idea for a job for you to do as a journalist. So you've let them know, hey, you know, I want to be a tabloid journalist. This is the corporation I want to work for. But then you're not quite sure what type of job to create or follow or go after. Well, they give your game master a D6 rollable chart for different types of jobs with a little description for each one. They have on the record, doing background, local caller, media event, backup, or return angle. And again, they give you a little summary of each of those. So the GM can roll on this or you can roll on this. And then there is the job complication chart. You roll on this, and this is going to tell you how the job you're being sent on might be complicated. Maybe the source is reluctant. Maybe you're limited on the type of technology that you're utilizing for the story, or maybe there's conflicting stories that are happening here. So this does a good job of creating a job, kind of again a broad idea of a job that you're going to go on and the types of complications that can make that job difficult. There's also a chart here for rolling on to see what kind of payment you may be getting for the different types of jobs that you're going to go on. And then I really enjoy this right here on page 9. I like tools of the trade. Anytime you're taking on a specific kind of job, it's all about the equipment. You know, 007 is not the same without Q and all of the cool gadgets. And whenever you see journalists, they're always, you know, sometimes they've got their vans or they're some kind of vehicle. They've got recording equipment, sometimes semi-spy-like equipment. One of the ones that I really like in this one is the burn key, which is a specific small fingernail-sized device. It kind of makes me think of like a USB drive that is specifically configured to be plugged into some sort of port and erase files. And it's talking here about how those files need to be determined ahead of time. Are they going to be super specific, like just by the name of the file, or is it any file that might mention a specific name? But that's just kind of a fun idea. So we have this list of equipment, the cost that they are for your player, and it's just again another way to flesh out what you're going to be doing and what you're going to be using as a journalist. Speaking of vans or cars, we have ships here, specific types of ships that your journalist might use, and I do like this quite a bit because they give us the Cronkite class media ship. and they give us the stats for it. And so if you are somebody who is into news at all, you've probably heard of the name Walter Cronkite. This is going to be a call out to him, a famous journalist from our past here in America. And I think it's just kind of fun that they gave a little tip of the hat, a little nod of the head to Walter Cronkite here in the game. So there is that as well. And then they get into a little bit of information on doing the work and some of the things more mechanics wise that you can utilize in the game. So they have the journalist talent, and again, just like all of the other talents, they have a novice level, an expert level, and a master level, so that you can level up your talent. And they also provide journalist stunts that you can utilize in the game as you earn your stunt points, which I think is fantastic also. And then they give us a few, looks like 3 here, yeah, 3 sources. So your sources are the people that you're going to be talking to, the people who are giving you their inside information. Sometimes they need to be anonymous, sometimes they might be able to be named, but here are 3 sources that your journalist might be able to interact with in order to gain their information. And then they have an optional system that if your GM would like to overlay with the game to give you some more ability throughout the game, again, to build that role playing and to give a little bit more mechanic ability for your journalist. And that is the book. So again, it's about 16 pages, and it focuses on the journalist. I think this is a really cool idea. I like it actually quite a bit. I've played plenty of role-playing games. I don't know that I've specifically played one that puts out individual PDFs for your class or for your character to really lift the role-playing. Now, I've definitely seen some other PDFs that are for like 5th edition that third parties are putting out to maybe add a new class or add a new race or ancestry. But the fact that Green Ronin is supporting the game by doing this themselves, and I'm sure there are probably some third parties out there who have done this as well for this game, but I always appreciate when a company or a game maker puts out these smaller PDFs for players to just sink their teeth more into their character, to build up their role playing. It's something that me, as mostly a game master, really appreciates because I do a lot of work to try to sell the reality, the fictional reality of the game, but giving a player something like this that they can read and that they can get excited by to increase their comfortability with their character is always huge, because it has returns where they come to the table and they're more willing to get into the role playing. They better understand what it is their character should be doing, how they should be acting. So stuff like this is always really encouraging to see it. I'm glad that, again, Green Ronin has done this for their game and that they have a handful of them for their game. So if you're somebody who is already playing the Expanse but you haven't checked out the trades of the Expanse, I would highly recommend it, especially if you are a player and you want to get some more info on maybe how to play your character. I would do that. Again, if we take a quick look over at greenroninstore.com, these are just $6 PDFs, and you get 15-16 pages worth of information, and I feel like that's a pretty good cost to information ratio there. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, getting to know a little bit more about what this Trades of the Expanse series of expansions are for the Expanse game. If you like it, head on over to that greenroninstore.com to check it out. You can pick up your PDF right away. Also, while you're there, pick up the Quick Start Guide if you haven't picked that up yet, because that one is free. And I think it was something like 40-some pages worth of Quick Start information. So you definitely could check that out as well. Thank you for watching. If the video helped, give it a like, maybe subscribe to the channel. and check out all the other great videos that we're doing here. You could also head over to tabletopgamingguild.com to learn a little bit more about us. But everybody, thank you for watching, and until we talk again, keep on playing games.